breathtaking. It's fun. This is box office. Honestly, name another player in the league that you would be willing to pay whatever it takes to see him play live.
And the two best shows in sports right now are Victor Wembanyama and Shohei Ohtani. And that's it.
Get up.
As far as Wemby, it's his second career game with 40 points, 15 rebounds, and no turnovers. That ties Moses Malone for the third most of any player ever. Shaq and Anthony Davis, the only ones ahead on that list. So that was one big performance last night. Here are two more in the same game. Celtics and Heat. And I'll tell you ahead of time, there will be no defensive teaching tape involved in the highlight of this game. But Jaylen Brown, Allen, would score the first 11 points of the night for the Celtics.
Yeah, he was in attack mode. They really don't have rim protection. And even Eric Spoelstra just said, our guys tried to defend, although not here. No one ran back for Miami. The Celtics were just on a heater to start this game, including Brown.
The Celtics scored 53 points in the first quarter. Of this game. So that was all Brown. Then the second quarter was all Tatum.
Yeah.
He had 13 points and 12 boards in the first half alone. Celtics by 23. Fourth quarter, it's not a game. Tatum, he would finish with 25 points, 18 rebounds, and 11 assists. So his first triple-double since returning from injury. And for good measure, Brown would chip in 43 as the Celtics put up 147 points in this game and win it going away. So you got Brown with his seventh 40-point game. You got Tatum with his fifth career triple-double. They're the third Celtic duo with a 40-point game and a 25-point triple-double in the same game. You see the others who have done it generations ago with Nelly and Havlicek. More recently, of course, with McHale and Bird. That's what we're talking about. And it begs the question with Allen here and Tim McMahon up with us early. And Tim, I will ask it to you. And I've been saying this now for what feels like weeks. If those guys are going to play like that, who in the world, let's just deal with the Eastern Conference, who is beating them if those two guys look like that?
Well, it sure as hell ain't the Miami Heat. Miami is an absolute mess right now. But the Celtics, I think the Washington Wizards defense was contagious when Bam put up 83, by the way.
Wow.
Anyway, the Celtics are absolutely the clear favorites in the Eastern Conference right now. They've got the system, they've got the stars, they've got the proven championship experience, 10-2 since Jason Tatum has returned, and it feels like they are just getting rolling.
I think that's right. Allen, I remember when he was first going to come back, and I heard people talking about, well, it's become Jaylen Brown's team, and how are they going to work him in, and what's it going to do to the chemistry? And I remember thinking to myself, did I miss a meeting? When in the world is it that you add one of the 6 or 7 best players in the world to a team and they get worse? He is not even as good right now as he's going to be 2 weeks from now and 4 weeks from now. And when we get to the playoff series that actually matter, 8 weeks from now, if they look like that, if those guys are playing their best, they are the clear-cut favorite in my mind.
There's no question. And again, to be fair, though, some of the concern had to do with what was Tatum going to look like.
That's right.
Could he still give you something? You weren't expecting this. Now, the efficiency
he looks way
isn't
better
there.
than you thought he was going to, right?
He even said that he's a little bit surprised by it, and also that he wasn't even sure if he was even going to be able to make the comeback this year. So we all have to talk about it in that context. If we've never seen something like this where you drop yourself into a playoff chase, a playoff race, and you are able to assimilate this quickly. They're 10-2 when he plays in these games.
Yeah.
What the Celtics have now is the formula that they've always had. 2 ISO dominant players who can break you down. You don't have to put them on the floor together. But now what they've done is they've gotten younger, and they basically just have a collection of enthusiastic 3-and-D bots who just go out there and do all the other stuff that needs to be done on the basketball court.
Yeah.
And it really is an amazing thing. And oh, by the way, throw in Peyton Pritchard, who's one of the best 6 men in the league, who can also create a shot and score. And they are a dangerous team.
For sure. And actually, Tim, I really liked your answer. We threw a question at you. Are the Celtics peaking right now? And your answer was no, and I thought you had an interesting reason why.
I mean, listen, Jason Tatum is 12 games into a return from an Achilles, a 10-month rehab, and he is stuffing the box score. He is doing a lot of things to contribute. His return, given the circumstances, has been extraordinary. He's still playing his way into form. He's really not shooting the ball well, especially by his standards. And Green, you said it. He's going to be better in 2 weeks, in 4 weeks, maybe in a couple of months when the Celtics are still playing. We have not seen the best of Jason Tatum, and that means we have not seen the best of the Boston Celtics yet this season.
And how scary is that? Like, think about this for a minute, too. Like, is the dynasty rejuvenated? because what Tim's talking about is them potentially getting to a third NBA Finals in 5 years, which is not something you were thinking about last year when they blew up the roster and had to reset. And this was supposed to be the gap year. And that's not what Celtic culture is about. And that's what they proved this year. They got a chip on their shoulder, and they have the added excitement about adding Tatum. This team, again, is peaking towards the playoffs, which is exactly what you want.
As someone who is from where I am from, it has always been my disinclination, and that's terrible English, to root for the Celtics. I find myself.
It's a great story.
I have so much respect for the way they handled this season, for the way their coach handled the season, for the way Jaylen Brown handled this season, and for Tatum fighting his way back to get to this point. I find myself actually getting swept up in something I normally would be inclined to root against. One more thing I want to show you from the NBA from last night, little eye candy, Nuggets and Jazz. Hey, Alan, how about Jamal Murray? Nuggets are quietly looking like they're pretty dangerous. How about this shot from Jamal Murray?
Oh, I love this. The little hezzy, and then he just goes from half court. This has become common. This is the Mike Breen rule now. You know this, right? Because Mike Breen couldn't stand that players, because they didn't want to affect their shooting percentage, wouldn't take these buzzer beater shots. So they made a rule that it doesn't count against your field goal attempts when you take a heave at the buzzer. So now you're seeing more of them this year. It adds to the fun.
Mike Breen always has better rules than I do. My rule was home field advantage to the team that wins the All-Star game. You're welcome, America. Okay, we are 3 weeks.
So glad that didn't go down.
3 weeks tonight to the NFL draft. All 32 teams traveled to Indiana yesterday, Shefty, to see Fernando Mendoza at his pro day. We know he's going to be the first pick in the draft. He threw a wide range of passes as well as threw on the run. It's the first time we've seen him really in any significant way since he won the national championship with the Hoosiers. We know he didn't do much at the combine, but he looked like him. Yep. What were you hearing yesterday from people? I know you were at the owners' meetings and all that sort of thing, but all the people who matter were here to watch this. What did you hear from people?
Green, he cemented his status as the #1 pick yesterday.
Yeah.
He's going to visit with the Raiders in Las Vegas next week. They already have him learning their offense, getting up to speed on what he'll be doing in 2026 under Clint Kubiak. There's no drama as to what we're going to be seeing 3 weeks from tonight in Pittsburgh, and he looked the part yesterday. He threw the ball long effectively. He had short throws. He commanded the huddle. He had the type of character that you want out of the #1 overall pick, which he is expected to be 3 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, I think that's for certain. And there's every reason in the world that it makes sense. Jordan, you've got some tape for us here. What do you see in Fernando Mendoza as we get set to make him the first pick in the draft to try and revitalize a Raider team that has really struggled for a long time?
Yeah, before we get to the tape, I just want to say it is really easy to go grab 1 or 2 throws and say, oh, this guy's doing this or that. It's harder to find something consistently that pops up for Fernando that you go, this is something I think he needs to fix.